As promised, we welcome you back to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center here in Baton Rouge. Once again, the final score from Game 1 here in the Baton Rouge Regional. Michigan defeats UNLV 71-59. We are now pleased to be joined by head coach Kim Arico to my immediate left. Emily Kaiser is to her left in the middle. Emily had 18 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists on today's game. And at the far end of the table, we are joined by Maddie Nolan, 18 points and 3 rebounds. Maddie was 4 of 6 from behind the three-point line. Once again, if you're joining us via Zoom, you can click the raise hand button, and we will get to you when we do open the floor for questions. As always, we will start with an opening comment from Coach Arico. Then we will take the first few minutes for questions to the players only. After that, we will then let them dismiss, and we'll have questions for Coach. So, Coach, the floor is yours. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I thought it was a great basketball game. UNLV is a really good team, and it was a super competitive game, and really proud of our kids. I thought we came out and established ourselves early. I thought we set the tone defensively in the first quarter and did a tremendous job. And obviously these two next to me, as well as many other players on our team, really stepped up and contributed. And it's great to still be playing in March.
Coach, thank you very much. Once again, we will open up the floor first for questions to either Emily or Maddie. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We will bring a microphone to you since we are streaming this press conference. And if you will please address which player you are asking your question to. If you're joining us via Zoom, you have a question, click the raise hand button and we will come to you. With that, questions for the players.
Emily, I saw you and Coach react to kind of a certain way when you heard they had 6 assists. So I wanted to ask you, what prompted that reaction? Why'd you react that way?
I think it's not super normal in the post that you have that many assists. And also, I mean, the team's got to knock it down. Maybe some of them were to Maddie as well. But, yeah, it's not usually my thing. Sometimes with that double comes, I have a little more opportunity to get a couple assists. But, yeah, a higher number than my average, I'd say, probably.
We just talked to the other team, and they talked about how physical you guys were in the post today. Can you talk about how important that was to your game plan?
Yeah, they had a really strong inside game. I mean, we knew that coming in. It was something we really wanted to lock in on. 23 is a really good player. So, yeah, we wanted to bring some of that physicality that maybe they hadn't seen as much. Every single day in the Big Ten, we kind of get to play against, that caliber of post players. So we had a little bit of experience and really just wanted to try and lock that down.
And to build off of that, for both of you, it looked like there was a really high level of defensive intensity. You guys were, diving for loose balls, tipping, blocking. Can you talk about how important that was to the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've highlighted it all year, the sticker plays, taking charges. Elise did a good job on 23 in the beginning, diving on the floor. Even, Leah, I know, dove on one and she didn't get it, but it's just, it kind of brings us together, brings up the energy, brings up the intensity, and we know, if someone's willing to do it, we should be able to be willing to do it for them. And, it's win or go home now, so those plays really make a difference.
That second quarter, we had a little bit of a drought offensively. I think everyone saw. So I think to keep that caliber of defense really helped us get this win.
For both of you, I'm just curious. You do a lot of film work. You study the opponent's tendencies. You know what they're going to do. When you actually get out there and you're on the court and you see the person, how do you figure out how to adjust, or does it confirm sometimes for you, this is what they're going to do, and I know exactly what's coming at me?
They were a super disciplined team that was going to run their offense really well. We tried to watch as much film as possible, but you just don't know these teams as well. We tried to call out a couple of their plays. We were dead wrong. So that you just you got to go off the fly, and that's where you kind of just play basketball. Just stick to your defensive principles. Yeah, everything. I mean, you can guess which hand a player is going to use more. You can kind of guess which plays they're going to use, but and then in the day, just play basketball out there. I think.
Yeah, I think just with our team, trying to make in-game adjustments. If we notice something, we try to tell the whole team, whether it be a play, whether it be a player's tendencies. So just trying to, obviously watching film, but adjust on the fly because, like you said, it can change during the game.
And Maddie, today, obviously you were 4 for 6 from deep. You were scoring on all 3 levels. Can both of you talk a bit about, Maddie, yourself, what your confidence was like today, making 4 threes, and then Emily, can you just talk about what that brings to the team?
Yeah, well, first of all, I talk about it every time, I wouldn't be able to hit those without my teammates finding me on the floor, so, shout out to them. And, yeah, we talked about the whole year, I know the coaching staff, all my teammates have complete confidence in me, so it was nice to see a couple go down today.
Yeah, I mean, she saved us a couple times. When that score starts to get closer and closer, a three is huge. I mean, it's just a huge momentum change. So Maddie hits those in huge moments. Didn't really miss a whole lot either today, so very helpful.
All right, for Maddie, UNLV said that their thing is kind of press and zone. Knowing that, did you feel like your shooting would be even more important today? And then secondly, earlier when you were talking about hustle plays, I think you said sticker plays. Is that what you had said? Where does that come from?
Yeah, so we have these things, they're called stickers. So whenever you get a charge or you dive on the floor for a loose ball, we have like a block game in our locker room, and you get like a little basketball sticker. So it's kind of it's not a competition right now because Emily has way more than everyone else, but usually it's a competition to see who can get the most hustle plays, and it's something we really value on our team. But for your first question, yeah, we'd watch them press, we'd watch them play zone, and we knew that we could get the corners open, or even if the corner wasn't open, I could suck the defense out, Emily could flash middle, and we could get a cut. So just trying to take advantage of the different areas.
You like a helmet sticker in football, but you have nowhere to put it on your uniform, so it goes in.
Block games on our lockers. Everyone. Well, I guess I have two now, but does anyone else have two?
No, Emily.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean. Yeah. All right, everyone. I didn't mean it to be a flex.
Brett Martell with the Associated Press. So that begs one question, which do you know how many stickers you have for the season now? But second, really the more important question is, when you come into a high-stakes game and you've lost 3 out of your last 4, and one of your best players is just really coming back, can you say now that the game's over whether you had any anxiety at all about what your recent form had been, and then how much this performance confirmed what you thought your identity as a team should be?
Stickers individually or as a team, like total?
Individually.
Do you know?
Well, I know on each one I think is like about 25. So I think you were up to like 44 or 45. Yeah.
Most of mine are charges most of the time. I get a couple loose balls, but
the
yeah,
next
mostly.
highest is 18. So that tells you her separator right there.
They're getting there.
Progress.
Yeah, right. Do you want to answer? I'm blanking on the second question. Oh, no. I think, honestly, we had confidence going into this game. Just getting Layla back, I think she brings so much to our team, changes the look. Just her ability to get down the floor and really put some pressure on them offensively gave us a lot of confidence. She also brings so much on the defensive side. I think we've kind of touched on it a couple times already, how much we really take that into our identity. Like I said, in the first half, when we weren't scoring, we were trying to get those stops. And that has to be a mindset, because when you aren't getting those stops and if you're not scoring, that can really affect you sometimes, I think, on the defensive end. But that's something we really try and strive not to do. But no, it felt good to have everyone out there. Yeah.
I think going off of that, like, we talk about like being 15 strong, and we have complete confidence in the kids that did step up when Layla was out. So whether that be Jordan Hobbs, Ari, Elise Stuck, you saw her play really hard today. We know those kids can come in and make a real difference for us as well.
Okay, we have time for one more question.
Emily, this is for you. I had a chance to have a long talk with you last year right after the game ended against Louisville, and you were really not sure what you were going to do. And you took your time and decided to come back. Has it been worth it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, without a doubt. It's good. I was just thinking about how quick this year has gone, because I remember that exact conversation. But no, this has been like the greatest year ever. I was so worried, I think, about it really living up to my first 4 years here, because I just had, the time of my life. My class was a huge part of, my time here. So kind of scared that what would this year hold. But it's not even the wins or the losses. Obviously, we found success this year. I know a lot of people were worried with what we lost last year, that we weren't going to be able to do it again. But, a lot of people have put in a lot of hard work and made this year really awesome. And love the teammates, Maddie Nolan over here. So, no, I've had the best time. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Ladies, if you don't mind, Michigan's locker room is now officially closed. We did have somebody who was trying to get a hand up, so I'm going to get one more question for you, if you don't mind.
Obviously, it's March, win or go home. How excited are you guys for the next round? How happy are you after this win?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's win or go home. We've found ourselves in this position the last 3 seasons, so I think like that experience going into it is going to be huge. But we talk about it every day. Like every win, we're going to celebrate it because you never know what's going to happen next. So we're just grateful for this one. Going to celebrate it and then refocus for Sunday.
100%. I think that's something I focused on. Really, the whole team last year is just putting so much pressure like to get those wins and just not enjoying the moment. So we're just gonna play basketball, have fun with it. Who knows when? I mean, obviously this is my last March Madness, but we've kind of told the team like, who knows when you'll be back here? Like you can't take advantage of the moment. So go out there, have fun, leave it all on the court.
Congratulations on your win. We'll see you Sunday. Thank you very much for your time. All right, we'll now have questions for the head coach. Once again, if you are joining us via Zoom and you have a question, please hit the raise hand button and we'll come to you with that. Any questions for the head coach?
Just kind of an overview. You mentioned yesterday in the presser that, you know, a lot of people put you as being a first round upset. And obviously you weren't today. What does that do for your confidence? And, you know, I think all season long there's been that story of you have something to prove without Naz Hillman. What does this win, especially with, again, so many people picking you to be upset, what does that do?
Yeah, I think our team really like had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and I know that we were kind of projected all year long to potentially host too, and we lost a couple of games down the stretch, but we weren't completely healthy down the stretch too, and we didn't have our total team down the stretch. So with everyone back, I think our players really have that confidence. They also have that experience. I mean, we made that run last year to the Elite Eight, the year before to the Sweet 16. That type of experience is something that a lot of programs don't have, and I think that really helps us as well, and it helps to give that confidence, obviously led by Emily, Leah, and Maddie, who have been there before. So I like kind of the position that we're in terms of we do have something to prove, and they're hungry and they don't want to go home, and they've been on this stage before.
Coach, I'm sorry, I should have asked this question yesterday, but I did not. What are your impressions on what Kim's done here in Baton Rouge in just a short time?
Yeah, obviously I used to feel like I knew her when I was young, and that was a couple of years ago. I don't feel like I'm so young anymore. So she's a little bit older than me, but I've known her for a really long time, and I've watched her teams. You study people that have been successful, and I've really studied her through the years, and we've developed a friendship over the years. When I saw her yesterday, the first thing she said is, what does the NCAA have with us being in the same bracket all the time? Because it does seem as if, we've been in the same bracket 4 or 5 times in, my career, which seems like a lot. But I just have a tremendous amount of respect for what she has done, what she did at Baylor, and what she's doing here at LSU. And to be able to do it in such a short period of time. Now where, basketball has changed, the landscape has changed, the transfer portal is a new thing, so you can do it a little bit quicker than having to build it. But she's been able to do that. And not only do you have to get players, which she does a tremendous job of, but then you have to coach them. And, I could tell in just a short period, they are like, they listen, they're well coached, they're a great team, they buy in. So she's just, like I said, I have a tremendous amount of respect. She's done a great job, and she always has her teams well prepared.
Emily had the big numbers tonight, but can you talk about Cam Williams' performance in the post alongside her, especially on defense?
Yeah, I mean, Cameron is definitely an X factor for us, and she's someone that I really was trying to pump up pregame and postgame because sometimes, like, she doesn't show a lot of emotion, and she's just been so great for us all year. Sometimes I'm like, Cameron, get excited, and she's like, oh, So, but she's just, I think she's had a phenomenal year, and I think she's a little under the radar because of our senior class. But what she brings, her athleticism, her strength is second to none, probably the best on our team. Her ability to rebound the ball. She had a couple great finishes for us in the second half. She's really efficient around the basket. So, yeah, I'm really proud of Cameron. I think she's just had an unbelievable year for us, and she had a great day today.
Coach, what was the strategy defensively today? I felt like you tried to front the post and then on the catch and double, triple teams on the help.
I challenged Cameron earlier this week when we found out who we were going to be playing, and when I watched some film on Desiree. I challenged Cameron, like, can you defend her? Like, you have to be active. She's super quick. You can't just sit behind her. Like, you just really have to be active, And I thought Cameron really was trying to be active. I think, we frustrated her early. At halftime, I looked at the stats, and I don't think she had made a bucket. So I thought that, that doesn't always show up in like the box score for Cameron, but she was phenomenal on her. And we just wanted to throw different looks at her. We wanted to make sure we were continuing to be active. We really wanted to pressure hard on their wings and establish ourselves. I know somebody said that they said our physicality and our strength was another level. And I think, we talk about the Big Ten and facing that night in and night out is something we were prepared for. So we knew, Young was a tremendous player, but we have faced players like her in our league night in and night out. And I thought our post defense was really exceptional.
For you online, Andrew, with the Ann Arbor News. Andrew, if you will unmute and ask your question for Coach.
Hey, Kim, congrats on the win. If it is LSU, you've been in this spot before, took down Tennessee, a couple of years ago. Is there anything from that experience or just your team's, your program's recent tournament runs that give you confidence going into round 2 on a short turnaround?
Hey, Andrew. Thanks for calling. Definitely. I think, even heading into today, it's a bummer when you have to play on someone else's home court, of course, and I know, this place will be rocking for sure. But I do think the experiences that we have been in over the last couple of years and the challenging schedule that we have had to play and going on the road this year in our league. I mean, when you go to Iowa, you're going to play in front of 15,000 Screaming fans. When we went to Indiana, we played in front of 15,000 Screaming fans. The same with Ohio State. So I think all of those situations have prepared us for Sunday. I also think our league truly has prepared us. I've been saying this for years, but now it's like really, really, really true. The Big Ten, like, come on, it's stronger than it's ever been. There are teams, our rankings are higher than they've ever been. Our seeds are higher than they've ever been. I think our league has prepared us for moments like this. So the experience our kids have and, our league, I know we're going to rely on that stuff. I know it's not going to be easy. Like I said, I've personally had an opportunity to play against Kim coach teams, and if they win, they're playing right now. There's no guarantee. And we know that our kids know that it's going to be challenging. Like you said, a couple years ago, we had to play against Tennessee. The SEC is a tradition-rich basketball conference. It will certainly be challenging, but I bet every round of 32 game is going to really be challenging. So we're just fortunate that we're still playing, and we'll be excited for Sunday.
We have 2 questions left to wrap up here in the back, and then in the front row, we'll be done.
Coach, I know one of the things you talked about a lot today at the shoot-around was if you make a mistake, forget it, move on, hustle back. You only had 13 turnovers today, and defensively I didn't see a lot of those mistakes that you were kind of correcting earlier in shoot-around. Do you feel like your team did that today, that they played through whatever mistakes they were and just battled to hustle and make up another play somewhere else?
Yeah, I think, Matt, somebody asked Emily this question earlier, and I think it's a really important point, and it's something that I had to learn as a coach who's been coaching for a really long time. Last year, we were in positions that we had never been in before when we went to the Elite Eight. And down the stretch of our season, our kids got super tight, and they felt a ton of pressure. Emily, was definitely one of those kids. And they were living and dying by each play, and they started to not have any fun with it anymore. And they were so stressed about winning, and they felt so much pressure to win. So this year we kind of went in and we're like, we're going to be the best Michigan team that we can be today. And I know that everybody says that, and I know it's easy to do, but we try to like preach that on a regular, so they don't feel like, oh my gosh, like my life is depending on me being successful today, or if I turn the basketball over, like everything is going to crumble. And then what happens is they have another one, and they have another one, and another one. So we really try to just work on like letting it go and just, worry about the next play. And it's easy to say as a coach, it's super hard. And as a competitive player, it's really hard. But I think our team did a great job, and our team this year's team has been way better at it. And I think it's something that it's like part of the process of being where we are to get to the point. And that's another reason why I'm so happy that Emily, I think that was just a tremendous question to her, decided to come back, and she thought about it for a long period of time. Like all her buddies were leaving and people were moving on, and what would this year provide for her? But I think she's been so much more relaxed and so much more confident, and really just has such a tremendous IQ. She's a first-team all-conference player who reminded me she only played 93 minutes as a freshman. So just to see her story, but also everybody just take a deep breath and try to enjoy it. It's been great.
And then Maddie today, obviously she had the numbers, but she did a lot of other things too, playing point guard to alleviate Leah from that spot a bit, floor general, coaching people on the court, pointing them here or there during timeouts and during inbounds plays. Can you just speak about her leadership and how she's really grown into that role as a senior?
Yeah, there are different points in people's career where you sit back as a coach and you go, holy cow, like where did this come from? And that has been Maddie Nolan probably the last 3 weeks. She was just, a shooter. Her confidence right now is at another level where she's like, give me the ball. I'm a playmaker. I could score at all 3 levels. I can shoot it. I'm going to, when Layla went out, I'm going to defend the other team's best player. Okay, Leah's not 100%. I'll be the point guard. I will do whatever our team needs me to do to help us be successful. And she's just playing at a whole nother level. I think when teams prepare for her in the past, they would be like, okay, shooter, shooter, shooter. Now you just can't do that. So I'm just really proud of her as a coach, and she's just been awesome.
Coach, we thank you for your time and your answers. Michigan will have a closed practice tomorrow afternoon. The players will be back in here tomorrow, 2:15 to 2:30 for their press conference. Coach will be here tomorrow, 2:35 to 2:50 to talk on the off day before the game on Sunday. Congratulations on your win. We'll see you tomorrow, and then we'll see you on the floor on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. LSU and Hawaii in action right now. The winner of that game will play the University of Michigan. We'll be back following the second game here in Baton Rouge to talk to both Hawaii and LSU. Until then, have a good afternoon from all of us here in Baton Rouge.